elk that we saw this morning were on a block management area. You have to have permission to be able to get in there and to hunt it. Ended up calling, this lady picked up, she was super sweet, like she gave us permission. Just for a day. Day 4 in Montana, and we have come to, we're taking advantage of the permission that we have to hunt this BMA. So we've just gotten here, we got to sign in, and we're going to do some glassing and see if we can locate these elk that we know are in this area. It's really hard to work within these, all of these boundaries. There's so many different sections of land between private and state and permission based. But we're going to try to figure that out. So here we go. Nobody's here. Can't complain about that. Oh, there we go. That's about 3 miles, wasn't it? So we decided to just go look. So we walked to the top of this hill. I know I made it look really easy, but it was hard. We're actually inside the BMA where we've got permission for today. And we're at a place now where it looks like we can look around. But all the elk were back in these willows back here. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run down there and I'm gonna scare them. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna huddle them up and you're gonna keep them in one spot right on the BMA. And then I'm gonna run back and shoot a bull. All right, so the plan, let's see here. We have no clue where animals are. That's a factor. Well, we know where some are, but they're currently not on property that we can hunt. And they are chilling. That's why they call this hunting. I think they really ought to just call it learning, because that's what we're out here doing, is learning. Learning what not to do so that we know what to do. My film man just wants me to struggle. Oh my gosh. You can do it. Think I can just leave it like that? Not strong enough. I have what it takes. We didn't put the bottom in. We gotta undo it again. Oh my goodness. They say this is the easy part. If you've never done this before, and all the professionals make it look easy, it's because it is. Okay, so we're getting creative. Those elk may move at some point. We may go back there, but we're just not super confident about that, that they're gonna move off of that. So now we're just looking around and driving by all these fields. It's ridiculous the number of white-tailed deer that are literally just hanging out in the middle of these alfalfa fields. They're clearly not hunted, or at least not hunted very hard or very often. I'm having trouble explaining what we're seeing because I feel like I'm on a preserve. There are so many target animals. We've seen yet another really good whitetail buck. We've seen a really good muley buck now. A whole bunch of elk with several really good bulls in there. Again, all on private land, so it feels like it kind of doesn't matter, but then there's all this stuff that's mixed in. And so I feel like it's a matter of time before we find a little window of opportunity. Because yeah, we've been looking for, phone numbers to be able to ask permission to get on some of this land, but honestly, it's hard to find. It's honestly a little bit overwhelming for me. It is, because there are just so many animals. It is amazing. Like, it's beautiful. We're gonna find something though. Hang tight. All right, good news. We've been glassing, I guess probably the last hour and a half. Been looking up in the mountains, you know, actually on some public land. We did get our eyes on 2 elk, 2 bulls. One looked like a spike, the other one looked like a pretty good bull. Long way off. It's late in the afternoon, so I think what we're gonna do is go try to figure out the road situation, see what it looks like while we've still got some light. And so that should give us an opportunity to maybe make a play if they stay at least in the same area. There could be others, but we're just gonna see what happens here. See what the roads look like, and then we'll update in just a little bit. Oh God, I don't know that I can do that. Road update, 4.5 seconds later. Not looking good. Yeah, we're driving a 2-wheel drive Dodge. I mean, it's a brand new truck. It's pretty, real good gas mileage. 2-wheel drive, street tires. We're struggling here. All right, day 5, morning number 5. Yes, I'm currently sitting in the back seat of the truck because we're glassing, and it's freezing. It is just so cold, and so we're doing our best to try to stay warm while looking. Really would like to see something before we go running into the mountains, instead of expending a lot of energy walking around where you know, if you don't know that they're there. And so we're trying to spot, do our best. We've got a really nice view, but this is where we last saw yesterday evening. Looked like a pretty good bull with another kind of raghorn, and so we're hoping to maybe see him again. So that's what we're gonna do. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's what we're gonna do. And what I'm looking for is the spot on the spot. Whatever that means. All right, so we're trying to just make something happen. We're not real certain why we hadn't seen anything moving this morning. But it's getting close to midday, and we've got another couple of people with us, Paul and Ben. They've got a much better vehicle, so they've got good 4-wheel drive. So we're gonna just load up some of our essentials, get in there together, and then we're gonna try to get a little closer to the mountain, see if we can't make something happen.
Cab. Like, it feels more narrow. Mine feels wider. Yeah, it ain't warm.
Man.
That's for sure. Oh yeah, man! You stole my seat warmer.
Oh, there's a seat warmer. Yep. Okay. So we found a few muley does. We're just gonna go see if we can peek over this ridge right here down into the draw, and maybe just see if something's with them, something's bedded down. Just see what kind of opportunity we have.
And then they're all running. I
they all
didn't see
took
the
off.
5th one until they ran. That must have been the one that made us, I think.
Yeah, there were 6 over there.
Yeah.
That went up the hill?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That was fun. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Hey, hang on to your bootstraps.
Sometimes you can't even look at that. I can't even turn anyway. Just got to go.
Yeah, our quick little tour to go get a closer peek, you know, up in the mountains turned into about a 3.5 hour fiasco of being stuck in between mountains and flat.
But we did chase down six
Crazy.
doe.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that seems like so long ago, doesn't it?
That was yesterday's hunt.
That was
Yeah.
today?
Was that today? Have I eaten today?
No.
Oh my goodness.
That wasn't the best idea. So I don't really even know how you would hunt that unless you had animals, horses, whatever, or you were able to pack in a long way. So well, it is day 6 here in Montana. Didn't do an update yesterday afternoon because I didn't feel good. I'm thinking maybe some elevation sickness, dehydration, along with bebopping around in a truck all day. It was just one of those days. We're seeing lots of animals. You know, the weather's still not great. It was pretty bad yesterday. A lot of wind, off and on snow, really cold. Knowing there's a lot of pressure, and then a lot of the animals, of course, are still on private, and so I'm learning as I go here. So, you know, last night I had all those thoughts about, you know, all the things that I've read and videos I've watched, things I've learned for the last several months, trying to figure this out and looking at units and learning how to e-scout and doing all those things, which are awesome. But it's just a different story when you get here. And, you know, then the weather doesn't cooperate, and you know, there is tons of pressure, and oh, somebody's there. That was one of my spots. Or, you know, I don't have the gear to be able to, you know, hike in 5 miles, and it's a massive learning curve. That being said, my thought this morning, we're coming back to a unit that's relatively close by, and we know there's a good sign here. There's a herd of elk, but we did have a really good opportunity here a few days ago. Some elk, you know, separated from the group and started making their way, came right towards us, got really close. It was an awesome encounter. So we may do some hiking around today looking for sign. This is where we're going to get our hunt on, so let's get to it.
Did you see him?
Yeah,
They're fighting. Do you see him?
we've got 3 bucks, 3 muley bucks. Nothing crazy, but there's one that looks pretty cool. Kind of a non-typical on one side. It looks like they've all bedded down between 160, 260 yards in between there. It's kind of a waiting game, I guess, at this point. At least from all the mule deer hunts that I've seen. It could be 5 minutes or 5 hours. So we're gonna wait let our toes freeze, and then hopefully have an opportunity at this buck. Right when I was shooting. As I was pulling the trigger, he turned almost facing me as soon as I was shooting. Dang. Are you freaking kidding me? So, we waited a couple of hours. Wind picked up again, got really cold. Our wind was blowing straight uphill. We did not have on enough clothing for a 5-hour set. So I decided to, to grunt, to make some noise. Thought maybe that would get them on their feet, because there ended up being 5 bucks. None of them, none of them trophy bucks, but one of them was a good buck, kind of cool looking, and he was the farthest back. And so I made a little bit of noise, had my gun ready, we were ready to go, and one of the front bucks, one of the closer ones, got alerted. He stood up, but instead of trying to figure out what was going on, he just bolted, and then all the other ones stood up as well. And I was ready, and the larger buck kind of moved to the left and was broadside, and it was perfect, and I was squeezing the trigger, and he turns directly toward me to head back the other way and run. And so as I fired, I must have just gone right beside him, because we came up, they all bolted, looked at the footage, didn't look like he flinched or anything. Appears to be a clean miss, don't see any blood. Lesson learned. I just gotta be, cold and patient. Just part of it. First time hunting elk or muley in Montana on public land, over the counter, doing it myself. So doesn't mean it can't happen, and so we're gonna keep pressing on, see if we can scrounge something up. We're gonna keep hammering. Keep hammering. Just got a text, actually an inReach message from one of the, from Ben. So Ben and Paul wrote, and they have an elk down, apparently. And that's all we know. So they sent us a location. We're going to try to help them recover it. We're on the way. The team is on the way.
On the right. Yeah, from like 250.
Oh, my.
I hit him and he started running across here, and so I finished him off and he laid here because I didn't want him to run away.
How do you have Ben shot him?
Ben,
Ben, tell him the story.
Oh man.
Oh my.
So there's a tree line 250 yards back that way.
You know, this front leg's in the wrong place.
And I heard him coming down the tree line really loud. There was two of them. And they were coming down, like running down the tree line. They got to the tree line and stopped, but they were side by side, so I had to wait. And then they just took off running. And so I just like got on a knee and I hit him, and I think I hit him in the shoulder. But he like stopped for a second, and then just they kept running this way. And so when I was back in the tree line back there, they didn't see me, so they kept running this way, and I thought they were gonna get up the tree line, so I hit him again, and he put him down right here.
Look at
This is yours, bro. It's crazy.
So cool.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Lord.
Thank you, Jesus. Yes.
What a
indeed.
story you got to tell.
Right?
For the lesson of life.
So
Yes.
cool.